What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? This is your boy Is Nefarious here, and I am here for another edition of your favorite series. Here we go, following the Pittsburgh Steelers of the Premier Madden League. We don't have the Premier Madden gear on, no big deal. Misplaced the T-shirt for some reason. Maybe I'll have to order some more. We'll see. But we're here for another episode. Let's jump into it and let's see what we're dealing with this week. Alright, so here we are, week 8. We are taking on the New England Patriots. And a little backstory about the New England Patriots. The user in control of the New England Patriots is none other than Problem Right. Yep, you heard me correct. Problem Right is the New England Patriots user, and that's who we have to go up against this week. We are 3-4. We are trying to fight for the division, but first we gotta take on Problem Right. That is 6-1 so far this season. A very run-heavy scheme, as you know. One of the best runners in Madden. One of the best Madden players to ever touch the sticks. Back in the Madden bus days. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's definitely going to be a fun one. It's our first experience ever playing somebody of Problem Right stature. So we'll see how we do against them. First, we got a few things that we got to look at. We got the mock draft 2, which now the rookie draft class is in. So all these guys, as you know, Bryce Young, all these guys are in the 2023 draft class. So very interesting to see. You got Robinson, Brian Branch. The only one I really know out of this whole draft class right now is Bryce Young. You also got DJ right there. Tank Bigsby, I remember him. I'm not a big college guy, so I don't know a lot of college players. But the actual draft class is finally in, so I could start doing my scouting, so that's good. Scouting national focus, so we get to choose our national focus. Choose a national focus position. Right now we have QB. Let's see if we could let's see what we want to change it to. So we're not going to do QB. I feel like we're good at QB. We're probably going to do, we're doing middle linebacker, but we like Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson has been really solid for us. Maybe offensive line. Right guard is a weakness. Strong safety is a weakness, apparently. Center is a weakness. But that might be the draft class, or that could possibly be the draft class. This is a tough call. Maybe we go tight end. Maybe we find a tight end, because I feel like even though we got Sam Laporte and Pat Fairmuth, I feel like tight end is a weakness in our system. So maybe we go tight end. So let's go ahead and do tight end. Tight end will be our scouting national focus. Maybe we get a good tight end out of the draft class. We'll see. But that's going to be our national focus. Now let's go over to the other things we have to deal with as far as the weekly strategy. We have to take a look at the Patriots and see what we're dealing with. So first, let's jump over to the Patriots roster and take a look at what we're dealing with this week. Alright, so here we are taking a look at the Patriots, and as you can see, they got Mac Jones. It's pretty much the same team. Problem Right hasn't made many changes. He doesn't spend a lot of time with the team as far as upgrading and making trades, making free agent moves. He's not very active in that sense. He's still got Damian Harris, who's lighting the league on fire right now. Jonnu Smith, who's solid. He's got Dalton Keene. I don't know what happened to Hunter Henry. Probably got injured or something like that. He's got Michael Gallup. And this was a trade made by the previous user before Problem Right came into the league. He's also got Nelson Aguilar as well. N'Keal Harry's still there. David Bell, a rookie. There's Hunter Henry. All right, so that was a fullback. I don't know why, because I saw the two tight ends. That was a fullback. The tight ends, there's Hunter Henry, his number one tight end. Then he's got Jonnu Smith. Then you take a look at the offensive line. As you know, it's a solid offensive line over there in New England. Definitely going to have a tough day with the front seven dealing with this offensive line. On the defense, you got Matthew Judon. He moved him to end with Chase Winovich, so he's probably running a 4-3 now. He's got DeMarvin Leal, who he got in the draft. He didn't even do the draft. It was automatically drafted for him. He was the second defensive tackle taken off the board. Then he's still got Christian Barrymore, who's solid. He's got Josh Uche playing outside linebacker. Jawan Bentley in the middle. Then he's got Cameron McGrone, a really fast middle linebacker that plays in the middle as well. Then he's got Kyle Van Noy. I could tell he's definitely running that 4-3. Then obviously you still got Stephon Gilmore because this league was made after the trade, before the trades happened, before all the all the Patriots stuff happened. So he's still got Stephon Gilmore. He's got Jonathan Jones. He doesn't have J.C. Jackson anymore. He kind of let him walk. David McCourty's still there, and Kyle Duggar. So it's a solid lineup. Hopefully, taking a look at the offense, hopefully if we make Mac Jones throw the ball, we'll have an advantage there. We're going to stack the box. We're going to play our cover 3 shell. We're going to play our Legion of Boom type of defense. On the offensive side, we're going to focus on running the ball. His front seven's okay. Maybe we could get his linebackers playing forward a little bit with some play action and hit them over the middle, just over their heads before the safety. Definitely don't want to test their cornerbacks too much. Got to stay away from Stephon Gilmore and stuff like that. So we'll see what the game plan calls for as the game goes along, but we are going to have that run-heavy scheme. Now let's take a look at the Steelers and see what we're doing and see if there's any new development storylines. All right, so here we are with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and JT Daniels is still rolling. He got his first loss as a starter last week against the Miami Dolphins. You know, a tough matchup. He went 1-1, had 1 TD and 1 interception. Played a solid game, only threw 16 times. We're taking it easy with JT Daniels, easing him in. It really goes through our starting running back, Najee Harris. He's still got his ability for some reason. They got to take that away because he never really earned it. He's been really good, and I like Sewell. He wasn't involved last game, but the game before he was involved, I really like him. He's another big back. He's not very fast, but he could run in between the tackles and kind of keep with our scheme. Then at fullback, we actually moved Sam Laporte there. We got rid of Jalen Samuels as that fullback. So Sam Laporte is going to step in as that fullback because we also grabbed a tight end off our practice squad and upgraded him to the main roster, and we could possibly see him get some love. Wide receivers, Amari Cooper's our number 1. Chase Claypool's our number 2. It's going to remain like that, and then we'll have Amari Cooper play the slot when we bring in George Pickens as well. So that the wide receiver group is going to remain the same. We want to build George Pickens. He's young. We do like Gary Jennings, but George Pickens is young, and we want to build around him. So he gets more love than Gary Jennings and Vincent Smith. Taking a look at tight end, we did bring in Jody Fortson, 6'6", 230. He's more athletic. We want somebody that could really stretch the defense vertically in the tight end position. Rob Gronkowski is nice, but he really doesn't do that. He's not a vertical threat, at least not anymore. He's a little slower now. He's more of a run blocker, more of a possession guy. So we wanted to bring in somebody that could possibly stretch the defense a little bit. So Jody Fortson was added to the team. Offensive line is still the same. Kevin Dodson, Kendrick Green, AJ Cann, okay offensive line. Trey Turner. They haven't been as bad as they were last season, but definitely not as good as you would hope. Brandon Linder's there as well at the right tackle. Then for defense, you got Stephon Tuitt. Could definitely be on the move. Always got to watch out for him. He's definitely somebody that if the contract talks don't continue to progress, then he could definitely be out the door. Taking a look, we got Cameron Hayward at the right end spot. Obviously a captain on the defense. Jordan Davis has been performing really well. I really like what Jordan Davis is doing right now. So he's going to remain there. We're not going to talk too much on it. TJ Watt, a lot better than last season. He's got 2 sacks already. He had a sack last game. He's been out for 4 weeks. We played 7 games. He's been here for 3. So we'll see what happens. I really like having him back. He had a sack last game. He had a sack week 1. The only game he didn't have a sack was against Lamar Jackson, and you can't really blame him for that. Jeremiah Moon, I really want to get involved. We could possibly have him move into that other edge rusher in the in the nickel and stuff like that, because I really want to get him involved. I think he could be really good for us. Middle linebacker Devin Bush has been phenomenal all season. Peyton Wilson has been a breath of fresh air as well. We did cut, I forgot his name, the middle linebacker that we signed. We cut him. I forgot his name. He started, I think it was Carter Jr. He started the first couple weeks, but he lost that starting position, and now he's off the team. Right now, we're just running with Peyton Wilson and Buddy Johnson as those two other middle linebackers. Right outside linebacker, we got Samson Ubakam, and then we got Jeremiah Moon. So Jeremiah Moon, like I said, I want to get him more involved. Samson had another sack last game. He's been performing really well, so it's hard to get Jeremiah Moon involved when Samson's also playing really well. Taking a look at the cornerback, and as you can see, this is different. Our number one cornerback right now, it's still Bradley Roby, but the way Madden works, whoever's first in your depth chart usually matches up on the wide receiver 2, and then whoever's second matches up on the wide receiver 1. So Bradley Roby's our first cornerback 1, and then Justin Lane's our cornerback 2. Because we have an injury with Ahmad Gardner, he will be out for 6 weeks. He had abdominal tear or something like that. Will be out for 6 weeks for us. That's a big hit to our defense. Hopefully Justin Lane could step in and play really well. We like what he does in practice, so hopefully it's seamless. Then we got Chris Wilcox and Javaris Davis. But Damon Arnett is our slot corner right now. So, in the nickel defense, we will have Justin Lane on the outside, Bradley Roby on the outside, and we'll have Damon Arnett Jr. on the inside playing that slot corner. Free safety, we got Minka and Chris Wilcox. Same thing, Terrell Edmonds and Chris Wilcox. For the strong safety, Chris Wilcox will be that backup safety, because in a dime formation, there is an option for a safety to be one of those linebacker positions. So we want Chris Wilcox there just because he has that athleticism that we want in that position. So he'll be going into that position, and that's why we have him second on the depth chart. But that's pretty much it. The biggest storyline is losing Ahmad Gardner and how it's going to change our defense. We no longer have our shutdown corner, Ahmad Gardner, which has been playing really well this season. We'll see how the defense adjusts, especially against somebody like Problem Right. We expect a lot of running, but we'll see how it progresses through the 6 weeks. We did lose TJ Watt. We were just fine. Let's see if not having Ahmad Gardner does the same thing to the defense. Hopefully, we can have guys step in and pick up the slack for him. But let's go over to the weekly training. Let's see if we could get some XP and also get no injuries this week. Alright, so here we are taking a look at the weekly training. We are focus training Chase Claypool, JT Daniels, Najee Harris, and Jordan Davis. Ahmad Gardner being injured, we're not able to focus train him, but he does get XP from practice for some reason, which is great. But we're not able to focus train him. Total defensive rank, we're 23rd. Total offensive rank, we're 3rd. Just taking a look, defensive scoring, we're 20th. Offensive scoring, we're 11th. Defensive total yards per game, 20th. Offensive total yards per game, 5th. Defensive pass yards per game, we're 27th. Offensive pass yards per game, we're 12th. Defensive rush yards per game, we are 13th. Offensive rush yards per game, we are 2nd. Defensive turnovers, we are number 10. And offensive turnovers, we are number 22. So, just taking a look at the report, and the full report kind of tells us what we're doing. But taking a look at the report, our defensive rank definitely needs to go up. It's been the story of the season. Our defensive pass yards per game being 27th is a big reason. Also, our offensive turnovers being at number 22 is huge. We need to limit the turnovers a little more, and we need to work on our pass defense. Everything else seems to be coming down. The offensive pass yards per game has dropped because we became more run heavy as we went with JT Daniels. Just because he's a rookie quarterback, we want to be more safe with him. Defensive rush yards per game has gotten better week by week. We kind of remain the same at number 13. It's going to be a heavy running game this game. It's probably going to be a really boring game because he likes to run, I like to run. We'll see who has more success running it. Hopefully we do. We'll see. Hopefully our run defense really stands out. But the overall is, making sure that we control the ball. But let's hope that no injuries happen in this training. We did have pads. We're trying to remain safe, trying to make sure everybody's healthy. So let's take a look. So far, so good on the defense. And then on the offense, let's see. And we are fully healthy. So that's great. Fully healthy. Don't have to worry about any injuries or missing anybody. Now we have to take on problem right in the New England Patriots. Without further ado, let's jump into the game and let's see how we do. All right, so here we are, boys and girls. We just finished playing problem right, and it went as you expected. Really good defense, especially run defense. We weren't able to really do much. We lost 30-18. He actually had 3 pick sixes to pretty much close it out. We had the ball. It was 12-23. We had the ball with under 2 minutes left. We could have went down, tried to score, and then possibly, after that, kick a onside kick, or maybe even kick it off and try to stop his offense, because we were able to stop his offense. I'm gonna be straight with you. Like, his offense, we were able to stop. Now his defense, we weren't able to figure that out at all. Final score 30-18, 402 total yards for us, 243. That's because most of his yardage came on fucking interception returns for touchdowns. So definitely not the best thing. 17 first downs. We get a lot of the stuff, the turnovers. The turnovers go to him. We had 5 turnovers. He only had 1. That was pretty much the story of the game. We were 5 for 9 on third down. He was 5 for 10. 2 for 2 in the red zone. He was 1 for 2. Red zone TDs. We had 2. He had 1. Penalties. We didn't have any. He had 1 for 10 yards. Time of possession 21 minutes to 17. Taking a look at the stats, JT Daniels, not a good go of it. This is why we don't want him to throw much. Some of those interceptions, I think, I would say we're on the East Coast, West Coast type of connection. I could be wrong about that. There was a couple throws that were a little delayed. It took an extra second for the ball to get out on a couple of interceptions. So, that he did bait me on one. One was a jump ball for, I think it was George Pickett. It might have been Chase Claypool. No, actually, I think it was actually Amari Cooper. Not the guy you want to jump ball with. But one was intercepted by Devin McCourty in the end zone on a deep throw. We also had one on a bait by Devin McCourty. Then we had one from Jonathan Jones on a delayed throw. I don't know, it might have been inaccurate, to be honest. It might have been inaccurate. I would have to go back and look at what it was. It might have been inaccurate. And the other one by his linebacker was also a delayed, inaccurate throw, or something of that motion. He was 11-19, 135, 1 touchdown, 1 interception with Mac Jones. We tried to make him throw the ball, but even with our defense, he was still able to run it. Jared Goff came in at the end because we weren't trying to throw any more interceptions with our rookie. Damian Harris, 20 attempts, 123 yards, 6.1 yards a carry. No touchdowns, so that's good. Najee Harris, like I said, we weren't able to run the ball. 14 carries, 43 yards. It wasn't for the lack of trying. We definitely tried. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get it going. Taking a look at the receivers, Amari Cooper, 7 for 93. We had 6 for 70 with Rob Gronkowski. We also had Chase Claypool, who had 4 for 116 and a touchdown. So we definitely gave it our best go at the end to try to come back. But, a bad interception at the end really, stopped that in its tracks. 2 for 24 for Najee, and then 2 for 14 for Pickens. He did have a RPO screen for a touchdown. Taking a look at the defense, take a look at the tackles for loss. We had 3 from T.J. Watt, 2 from Fernie Jennings. Kyle Duggar had 2. Chase Winovich had 2. Van Noy. Matthew Judon had 1. We should have 1 from Chase Winovich too, because they both stuffed me all game. I was getting pretty much tackled in the backfield. Sacks, Andrew Brown had 1. Kyle Van Noy, Fernie Jennings, and then T.J. Watt also had 1. Interceptions, we had 5 from them. McCourty with 2, Jones for 2, McGrone. That was a tip drill one, and then Minka with 1. Let's actually go show you some of these interceptions and some of these big plays in the film room. Alright, so here we are. It was a rain game, too. I forgot to mention that, but it was a rain game. Here we are with our first TD. He kicked a field goal. We're coming down. We're trying to get into the end zone. We're running a trips. Looks like he's calling probably a cover 2, but he doesn't have enough guys on the outside. So we just pretty much play the numbers game. Not enough guys there. We run an RPO. We hit George Pickens. He gets to the outside. He breaks a tackle. He gets into the end zone. So, you know, a nice little play there just to get a quick touchdown. We're up 6-3 at this point. You know, hopefully we can hold on to the lead, but, you know, it definitely goes south, as you know. So let's take a look at some of those plays that kind of opened up the game for the Patriots. Alright, so here we are with his only offensive TD, and we kind of messed up on this. So we brought in Terrell Edmonds right here because we're running a cover 3 shell blitz. Terrell Edmonds we bring up. We should have moved Minka to the middle. That would have been the smart play, but we have him still sitting here, so he would have to make up all this ground right here to cover a seam route. We also thought, because on a cover 3 blitz, he's supposed to match somebody. Now the question is, who is he matching? So let's run this out, because I'm also confused on what happened here, because I thought he would match one of these tight ends. So let's run this and see what happens. So he calls hike, he just drops into his zone. So apparently he's not matching anybody. He's not matching, but we have them. It looks like we had a match on the other side. So he's not matching. He's gonna hit Dalton Keene real quick on the seam route. Nice play call by him. As you can see, Minka Fitzpatrick couldn't get there quick enough. He shuffles, and can't get there quick enough, and an easy touchdown for Dalton Keene and the Patriots. So nice little play by him. I thought that Terrell Edmonds would match, but unfortunately he doesn't. So we'll have to make a better adjustment when we run a type of play like this. But a good throw by him, good touchdown, and that gives him the lead. That makes it ends up making it 9-6 because he misses the extra point. Now let's take a look at some of the other plays that kind of open this up for him. Alright, so here we are with a big play, and this is one of the plays I was talking about that might have been a little delayed. So we're gonna hike it. We're running a flood concept on the left. Once we hike it, we see this linebacker immediately bail to the flat. So we're like, alright, we're gonna throw this quick. So before he even breaks, I'm throwing it. I'm throwing it right here. Right here, I'm throwing it. Like right here. Right here, I'm throwing it. Once I saw him bail and he was nowhere close, I was throwing it. It seemed a little delayed. He throws it. He leads him too far upfield, and it's an easy interception by Jonathan Jones. And he's gonna take it all the way into the house because there's nobody that's gonna catch him. Jonathan Jones got 95 speed. Nobody's catching him as we chase him, touchdown. So that makes the score 15-6 because he misses the extra point again. So it's 15-6 at this point. We're still in the game. Not the end of the world, but it does get worse. So let's take a look at some of the other plays that happen and explain what happened exactly in that play. Alright, so here we are with the big play actually for our side. You know, he could have made this score a lot worse. It was, like I said, it was 15-6. We actually got another turnover, another interception, but unfortunately he wasn't able to run it in, thankfully. We were able to come out on defense and see if we could get a turnover. So we're running a cover 1, and I think he reads that right off the line, and he's running a angle route by Damian Harris. So Damian Harris is here. Damian Harris is going to run an angle route. We're here. We're right here. We're Minka Fitzpatrick. He's a deep blue safety, but we don't need him on this play. We don't need him to play that deep blue because we're in the red zone. There's not much he's going to do as far as that. We could catch anything coming over the middle. We notice right away, boom, we notice that Damian Harris is running an angle route. So we switch field and we go right at that angle route because that is the main read on a man coverage. So that angle route, he runs it. We intercept it with Minka Fitzpatrick. So gives us the ball back, but it was like 4 seconds left or 20 seconds left in the half. So we just ran out the clock because there's nothing we're doing against that defense in that amount of time. So we ran out the clock. Let's take a look at some other plays that happened during this game. All right, so here we are. At this point, our defense is just holding us into it right now. I think it's still 15 to 6 at this point. We just forced a 3-and-out, so we got the ball back. And this is the play I was talking about. Another play that I think it was either delayed or a bad throw. JT Daniels is gonna look to his right. We notice the user, which is right here. He's user in 45 McGrone. As you can see on the back, McGrone, that's who he's using, and he's gonna immediately take away that running back. So we had a feeling he'd do that immediately. So what we do is once we see that, we throw the Rob Gronkowski right now. And I think this was a bad throw because this ball should have been right here in this window, but unfortunately it leads a little too far outside, and Stephon Gilmore is gonna make a play on it. So it looks like it's a bad throw. Hits Stephon Gilmore in the head. Actually, it might have not been a bad. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a bad throw. I don't know if it's his release, but I feel like right there, it shouldn't go that far upfield. He does have the throw power, so. But either way, it goes to Gilmore, tip drill right off his helmet. He's going to intercept it with his user. Nice little play by him. He's going to run it in for a touchdown. And that pretty much sets him up 21. He gets 21. He goes for 2. He gets 23. It makes a score 23 to 6 at this point. All right. So after a turnover on downs and then missed field goal by us, then another turnover on downs. Like I said, our defense kept us in most of the time. So after that, this is like with under 2 minutes left. We're under 2 minutes. We're down by 10. We're down by 11 actually because it's 23 to 12. We're down by 11. We're under 2 minutes left. If we score quick, then we could possibly make a comeback and maybe onside kick or try to score again some way somehow get a 3-and-out on defense because our defense has been able to stop his offense. So right here, we're going to run a little out route. So we notice the numbers over here. We're like, all right, if this linebacker doesn't streak for the flat, then I think we can get this little out route because we just got this cornerback and then this safety who is 15 yards downfield. So we're about at the 43, and he's over here on the 25-yard line. So he's a little ways away, almost 20 yards downfield, 18 to be exact. So we're like, all right, we could hit this deep out route, this quick out route. So we actually hot route him to an out route, and he already had a deeper out route that would break about, at the 30-yard line. We wanted him to break immediately. So we call hike. We noticed, we took a look at the linebacker. He wasn't coming down, but we didn't notice Devin McCourty. And as he comes down, he's gonna come and make a play on this ball. We don't have anything else. Where else could we attack? We could have went with Rob Gronkowski. So taking a look at this play, Rob Gronkowski ended up wide open. So maybe we could have went there. We could have went with George Pickens as well. But we make a pre-snap read, and it's not the right decision, as you can see, because Devin McCourty comes downfield. He intercepts that for an easy pick 6. And that pretty much seals the game away, making it 30 to. It's gonna make it 30 to 12. So that's pretty much it for us. We get a garbage time TD. We won't really show you that. It wasn't much. It was just a run by Mac Jones. Not Mac Jones. It was just a run by JT Daniels for a touchdown. So it wasn't much. But, we lose this game. We hope next week is a better week. We got the Baltimore Ravens once again, and then we head into our bye week. So next week's going to be a huge game. We're 3-5. We got to turn our season around. I think our toughest opponents are behind us with the Patriots. That Dolphins team's really good. We got to take on the Baltimore Ravens, who is a reigning AFC North champs. We're 1-0 against them. Hopefully we could be 2-0. But that's pretty much going to do it for us on this one, and we will catch you next time.